Hello friend, today the new topic on current electricity, that is work, power and energy. Now, what do you mean by electrical work, electrical power, electrical energy? Everybody knows that electrical power, the electrical power which always retain any equipment of electrical appliances like bulb. This is known as incandescent bulb, filament lamp, This is the old model bulb, cheap but loses more energy with light, that is heat energy lost, and it becomes very hot within very short time. But as the cost is very less, so it is more popular for many people. But CFL, LED lamp etc. are low powered, high luminant device, that is light energy maximum light energy we can get with a minimum amount of loss of electric power. Now, what is electric power? Suppose this is a 100-watt filament lamp, but not only 100 watt, there is another mentioned value, say 220 volt. This is actually alternating current or AC voltage. This is not actually equal as battery or DC. Graphically you can mention like this: if a resistance is connected with a DC source, suppose this is a resistance R connected with a DC source, that is a battery, normal cell, pen light cell or everything, then the current I and EMF E, this is the voltage V. So VI graph is such that within a fraction of second the current reach the maximum value. This is I max, which always we find like V equal to IR or I equal to V by R. But in this small time interval, that is whenever switch is on, where there is a switch, and whenever switch is on, there is a slight time delay to reach the maximum point, and again if you switched off, again it comes to zero immediately. But a very small amount of time required, because there is some energy stored inside the circuit. This is later on we can discuss. Now, for AC alternating current, the same resistance is connected with a AC source E. The current I is known as instantaneous current. This current is known as direct current. This current is known as direct current, and this E is known as DC EMF. So it is unchanged throughout the time. The DC EMF actually never change with time. So if we take here T, so time axis initially switch just on, within a very small time del T it becomes maximum, and then it remains same. After we switched off, then this switch is off, then the current is again take some small amount of time del t, and then coming to the 0 point, that is current is 0 through the circuit. In this case this is not the same. This is suppose 0, this is suppose time axis. The voltage is always varied, thereby current also varied. Normally this is known as sine wave. This is I max positive, this is I max negative, and this 220 volt, this 220 volt is actually 220 root 2 plus minus volt, that is maximum 220 root 2 and minimum minus 220 root 2. So this EMF also change with time, and thereby current also change with time. So but in normal calculation we do not use this type of critical condition. Normally we can say that whenever there is a bulb, you can consider this is a DC bulb also. So this is no matter what about the bulb is. Suppose this is 100 watt 220 volt. Now what do you mean by this 100 watt 220 volt? Actually this is written by manufacturer. This is manufacturer data. That is when the bulb is made in factory, the manufacturer test it and made it which can deliver or which can take 100 joules energy, 100 joules energy, that is electrical energy per second, when so 100 watt means 100 joules energy, that is electrical energy per second used or taken from a 220 volt mains AC supply. This 220 volt AC supply, this 220 volt means RMS value of alternating current. RMS value means root mean square voltage. So when we discuss about AC, you can learn all about it. Now it just mentioned that 100 joule energy per second taken from a source, that is 220 volt AC mains. The AC mains also having some another speciality. Look that there is a frequency. There is always a wave having some time interval. Suppose this is T. This is 0 to T for one complete cycle. So in case of alternating current 220 volt, it is also 50 Hertz. That means 50 cycle per second. This is also another very important characteristics of AC supply. This is 50 cycle per second. 50 cycle per second means there is 50 complete. This is 1, this is 2, and this is 50. So 1, 2, 50. 50 cycle 50 cycle per second. That is time taken to complete this 50 cycle is actually 1 second. 1 second. It is nothing but a rotor. A rotor. AC is actually made from a coil. A coil rotate in a shaft. Rotate in a shaft. That's like this. The shaft is rotating. When shaft is rotating, the coil is rotating, and this coil is connected with coil is actually placed inside a magnetic field. This is magnetic field. And according to Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction induction, you can find or you can got the AC, alternating current. Actually, Michael Faraday first proposed the laws of electromagnetic induction. Actually, this is very simple experiment done by him. This is a coil. Suppose this is the meter which is known as current meter, ammeter. This is ammeter is a very small ammeter, that is microammeter. Say micro means 10 to the power minus 6 ampere. That's a very small current can be detected by it. And you have a magnet, just a permanent magnet. And suppose this is placed in such a way that you can draw inside from this point to this point. You can like this. You can go through the coil. The magnet can be push or pull through the coil. Now, from this experiment, the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction is easily understood. Whenever the magnet is at rest, when no acceleration or no motion, that is no motion, the current is 0, I equal to 0. But when it pulled by anyone, somehow you pull it, then the magnet start moving towards this part, and as soon as it comes closer and closer, the current increased according to the turn, clockwise or anti-clockwise, according to north and south pole, whatever. The current direction may be like this or like this. This is a ammeter or galvanometer. You can say also galvanometer. It can read both direction. The indicator may be actually in equilibrium condition when no motion, I is 0, this is 0, and suppose this is positive and this is negative. So this time when the magnet come closer and closer to this point, when the magnet come this point, the current rises, that is either this direction or this direction. The indicator shows that the current rises. Now when it enter inside the magnet, again current fall down. So in this point I max, and again in the midpoint I 0, again this point I max opposite. If it is positive, then it is negative. If it is positive, suppose it is positive, when this magnet comes here, this positive, and as soon as it reach there, current 0, the reading becomes 0, and as soon as you are here, then the current is again increase opposite direction, and when the total magnet comes out, then again this point, this is maximum, say maximum negative, and then again you move further, the current is again comes to 0. So what happens when here, suppose it may be opposite or whatever, but the thing is, when the magnet is moving, when the permanent magnet start moving from, suppose this is point P, this is Q, this is R, this is S, this is A, M, this is N, say. When the permanent magnet start moving from P at rest I equal to 0, the I increases, say in positive direction. Then when it at R, the I becomes 0. Again it rises opposite direction from R to M, and then again decreases to 0. So first it is 0, suppose this is A, suppose this is C, say P, this is a P, this is a Q, positive max. Third case, is 0. This is the third case when it is R. This is R position. When at M, this is like this, and when it at a negative max, and when again say at N, the very far more distance, or it can at rest position, whatever, the current becomes 0. That is at N the current 0. 0 I max, 0 negative I max, 0, like this. So what happened? That is, if the magnet or alternatingly the coil move over the magnet, then there is always current produced, EMF induced. The EMF is known as E equal to minus d phi by dt. So phi is amount of flux linked with the coil. So the EMF is E d phi by dt. So I equal to E by R. Now this is the minimum basic sense of AC. So whenever whenever a rectangular or coil, sorts of circular, rectangular coil, special type of coil, rotate inside a magnetic field, then these 2 points, suppose this is a coil of n turns, 1000 turns, so there is one end connected with a metal ring, this is another, known as, these two are metal ring like copper ring, these are copper ring. So these are copper rings, and the connection comes out by two carbon brass, that is graphite piece, just touch on this shaft or ring. So if this is graphite and this is the ring, it rotates as it is, just touch this and rotate, touch this and rotate, touch. So always there is an electric connection, but mechanically it is not torn or it is not damaged. So these two are known as carbon brass. So these two are known as carbon brass. Now these two carbon brass are connected with external resistance R, which is any type of resistance or our bulb, that is the alternating current generated when this coil rotates inside this magnetic field, like this, rotates. The links, the magnetic lines of force, the north to south, there are so many magnetic lines of force. These are known as magnetic lines of force. The unit Weber per meter square or Tesla, Weber per meter square or Tesla. These magnetic lines of force continuously cut by these two part of the wire. These two part of the wire, since they are parallel to this line, there is no interaction with the magnetic lines of force. But these two conductor always intersect with the lines of force. and as soon as they intersect with each other, according to Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, the induced EMF generate and thereby a current is generated. But as the leg AB and CD, each 180 degree rotation, AB changed its position to CD, vice versa. So obviously AB and CD alternate, that is the position is shifted. The positions shifted, AB towards CD, CD towards AB. So thereby we have again a opposite direction of current, because slip rings are same, positions are same. So the current direction changed. And that is why from 0 to 180 degree, pi 180 degree, suppose the current is rises positive direction or voltage, say EMF is Emax is 0, maximum. This Emax again fall down to pi, up to pi, and then again 0 to 2 pi, pi to 2 pi, it is opposite, pi to 2 pi it is opposite. Again this is repeat, it repeats itself. This is 360 degree, this is 60, then again it repeats continuously. There is a current and potential or induced EMF generate, and the direction continuously changed with time. Suppose this is time t, and each cycle, this is known as one complete cycle, this is 2 half. So this is the time interval t. Since there is 50 cycles per second, 50 cycles per second, that is known as 50 hertz. The 50 cycles per second, so 50 cycle in 1 second, that is 1000 millisecond. So one cycle 1000 by 50, that is 20 millisecond. So half cycle takes 10 millisecond. So 10 millisecond. So time taken, this is 10 millisecond, so small, 10 millisecond, this is 20, again 10 millisecond, so total 20 milliseconds, very small. So the flicker or the change cannot detected by human eye. Why? Because persistence of vision is 1 by 10 second. Persistence of vision. Persistence of vision 1 by 10 second. That is 1000 by 10 millisecond. That is 100 millisecond. But in 100 millisecond, in 20 millisecond, the change completed. So 100 millisecond is far more time. So you can't detect the alternating current fluctuation in your naked eye. Okay, so this is one half cycle and this is the alternating current. Now, in previous discussion, we try to know, suppose there is a bulb of 100 watt and connected in a 220 volt supply, then how much current is flowing through it? I equal to how much? Now you know that power power equal to volt into current, that is potential difference into current, that is power, that is 100 watt equal to 220 into I, 220 volt into I. So I equal to 100 by 220, 100 by 220 ampere. 100 watt is volt, watt means joule per second, this is 220 volt. So what happened? 100 by 220 joule per second per volt. So this is known as the value of current is ampere. Now I equal to 100 by 220, that is 10 by 22 ampere, that is 5 by 11 ampere. Now what is the resistance of this bulb? The resistance of the bulb is R, but we know that power equal to I square R or V square by R. Power equal to I square R or V square by R or V into I. So three formulas are there. We can say this is suppose this is power, so we can use this. So 100 watt equal to 220 into 220 by R. So R equal to 220 into 220 by 100. 22 into 22, 484 ohm. So 100 watt bulb, 100 watt, 220 volt, 50 hertz bulb can tolerate or can withstand a current of 5 by 11 ampere. The 5 by 11 means 5 divided by 11 equal to how much? 0.45 ampere. 0.45 ampere. So this is 0.45 ampere is maximum current can flow through a 100 watt bulb. Now if the bulb is say 60 watt, 220 volt, 50 hertz, then again the circuit is same. This is 220 volt, this is 60 watt bulb, this is I. So we can say 60 watt equal to 220 into I. So in this case I equal to 60 by 220 ampere, that is 3 by 11 ampere. So 60 by 220, so 60 divided by 220, 60 divided by 220, 3 by 11 or 0.27 ampere. So obviously the current rating is less for 60 watt bulb. That means the amount of current drawn from the source is less, so 60 watt is more energy saver than 100 watt. But also light is less because incandescent bulb can lose maximum energy through heat. So heat energy loss is there. Now what happens if we connect a 60 watt bulb with a 100 watt bulb? When a 60 watt bulb and 100 watt bulb connected with the same source 220 volt AC, same source 220 volt, then what is the value of current? Look, this is 60 watt 220 volt, 100 watt 220 volt. These are actually manufacturer level. The bulb manufacturer stamped on it, but actual circuit does not depend upon this, but it depends upon the connection. In case of series connection, this 60 watt bulb not actually give 60 watt energy and this not 100 watt energy. Why? The only thing is constant here is resistance of the bulb. So R60 I V square by R equal to 60, suppose. So we have R equal to 220 R60, 60 watt bulb resistance is 220 into 220 by 60. So 220 into 220 by 60, that is 220 into 220 by 60, that is 806.66 or 67 say ohm. Again V square by R100 equal to 100 watt. So R100 watt, resistance of 100 watt is 220 into 220 by 100, that is 220 into 220 by 100, that is 484, right? 484 ohm. So now the circuit becomes what? The circuit becomes 806.67 ohm, 484 ohm connected with 220 volt, right? 220 volt. So I depend upon these two resistance in series. So R series equal to 806.67 plus 484 ohm, that is 806.67 plus 484, that is 1290.67 ohm, which implies that the current I equal to V by RS, that is 1290.67, sorry, that is 220 by 1290.67, that is 220 divided by 1290.67, which is actually 0.17 ampere. Now what happened to the bulb 60 watt? The watt actual for 60 watt bulb. So W actual equal to I square R 60, that is 0.17 square into R60, 806.67, that is point this square 0.17 into 0.17 into 806.67, right, which becomes what is this? 23.313 watt. 60 watt becomes 23.313 watt. So bad. Now what actual? For 100 watt bulb, again 100 W actual equal to I square R 100, that is 0.17 square into 484 watt. Now again 0.17 into 0.17 into 484. This is certainly wrong. 13.9876 watt. 60 watt becomes 23.313 watt, and 100 watt becomes 13.9876 watt. So if we use these two resistors in series, then what happened? Remarkable thing happened. 100 watt glows low, then 60 watt also glows low, but this glow is more than this, greater than glow of 100 watt. Both the bulb dimmed, but 60 watt becomes more brighter than 100 watt. Now why? Because the current, look, in previous example we find that the current through 60 watt bulb required 0.27, but now it becomes 0.17. The current difference is not very large here. But in case of 100 watt bulb, what happened? In case of 100 watt bulb, the current is 5 by 11. 5 by 11 means 0.45 ampere. So 0.45 ampere and 0.17 ampere. The current in general, the required current for 100 watt is 0.45 ampere, which becomes enormously low. 0.17 is enormously low value, is not it? 0.17 is enormously low value. So actually 0.17 and the required value is 0.45 ampere. 0.45 ampere, the required value, required. And in this case required is required value is 0.27 ampere. 0.27 ampere. So that is why 0.27 ampere, 0.17 ampere, only 0.1 difference, but in this case the difference is 0.3. So obviously the watt becomes very less. Thank you for watching today. Thank you, Sitama.